Warning: the Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
Well, we have breaking news for you on The Savage Nation. I didn't expect this, but I think the system is starting to work. It seems to me that the system established long before these two radicals took over America will eventually rein in these revolutionaries. What am I talking about? King Obama blocked by federal court. That's my headline on michaelsavage.com. It came out minutes ago. I had a full show prepared that had nothing to do with amnesty for illegals. But guess what happened? The system seems to be working. A federal appeals court, that's the Fifth Circuit, which is very conservative, by the way, ruled against President King Obama and said that, no, you can't make immigration law on your own. You're not a king. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit ruled in favor of Texas, which had sued to stop the amnesty for illegal aliens on all key points. They found that Obama's amnesty likely broke the law governing how big policies are to be written. Here's what the judges wrote. Quote, the public interest favors maintenance of the injunction. Now, what this means is that the revolutionary and his wife and the minions of revolutionaries around them have nothing but contempt for our Congress, contempt for the people, contempt for the Constitution, are going to have to scheme a new way to flood America with the illegals. But for right now, King Obama has been blocked by a federal circuit court of appeals. It's a huge story. And I have to say that it looks to me as though the system is beginning to work to stop the revolutionary regime. The only thing standing between us, meaning justice, and the people, are the Republicans. And I'll tell you more about that in a little while. Now, my show today was not going to be about this, but this is huge news. My show is going to be on another subject. It was going to be about the revolutionaries running the country. And my show is going to be entitled, If It Walks Like a Revolutionary, If It Talks Like a Revolutionary, It Is a Revolutionary. And we were going to play Michelle Obama's revolution-inspiring speeches at Oberlin College. Once again, she did it. She can't help it. She comes out and she becomes Angela Davis every time she gives a graduation speech. Although she complained about the fact that people smeared her as being Angela Davis, she's sure doing a good job of enacting the Angela Davis within. I mean, she's channeling the Angela Davis. All she needs is a bandolier of bullets on her back, over her chest, rather. Now, something else you should know. I am sick as a dog. If I were a pilot, I wouldn't fly the plane today. But since I'm a talk show host and your life is not in my hands, just your mind, your mind is in my hands, you're going to hear a subdued Savage Nation show today. I had a choice to stay off the air again. I have been hit with the most severe flu of my entire life. I am throwing everything known to mankind at it. And I'm talking about all of my alternative medical knowledge. I'm talking about amoxicillin for a severe strep throat that nothing touched and I couldn't swallow. So I'm using allopathic, I'm using homeopathic, I'm using herbal medicine, and I'm using pizza and garlic, which is my mainstay cure for everything. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about a Flu RX from my dear friend Richard A. Cunyon, MD, who is probably the greatest unsung genius in the history of nutrition in this country. He's the last of the Mohegans. He knows more about nutritional medicine than anybody in the world, and he's completely unknown. It's sad because he's written many books, but he's not really a businessman, which is not to his deficit. It's to his credit. And I'm going to read you a 2-page letter he sent to me, to Michael Savage, on his opinion, his RX for my flu. So I've got that to deal with. I've got all the other stories. Michelle Obama to grads telling graduates to shape the revolution. King Obama blocked by a federal court. We have so many other stories. I may as well give you a hint of them because you're not going to believe these. Look at this one. Last weekend, I missed this because I was out with the flu on Friday, I think, right? I came in on Thursday. I shouldn't have. Obama called himself an honorary member of the tribe. That means he's Jewish. I don't doubt that because he behaves like a liberal Jew. So in that sense, I agree with him. As you well know, liberal Jews are the most suicidal portion of the Jewish people. Self-hating and suicidal. Everybody knows that. And then, of course, we have this, which you should not omit. Robert De Niro gave a speech over the weekend to NYU grads. What's shocking about this is not that another actor was chosen to give another speech instead of a scholar or instead of a Nobel Prize-winning scientist. Have you noticed what happened to our colleges under the progressives? They almost never invite a distinguished person to give a commencement address. Forget politics. When have you last heard of a Nobel Prize-winning chemist or scientist giving a commencement address? The answer is never. Not since this gang took over America. Instead, it's one communist, progressive, psychotic drug addict after another. It's either a president, the president's wife, or a left-wing senator. I've never seen anything like it. It's never happened in American history. So I said to you, if it walks like a revolutionary, if it talks like a revolutionary, you're living through a revolution. So De Niro gives a speech to NYU grads where he says, well, you're going to suffer because you're in the arts. Get used to it. And he said, how are you going to cope with that suffering? He said, I hear that Valium and Vicodin work. Good advice, Robert. We'd expect nothing less from an actor. We're going to also talk about medical marijuana. We're going to talk about all the topics of the day. Let me invite you to call the show at 855-407-282. The only thing I don't want to hear from you is any remedies for a flu. Please do not call us with remedies. I know more than you do about it. And at a certain point, nothing works. You just have to pray to God that all your remedies collectively work. So let's begin at the beginning. Let's make believe there was no breaking news where King Obama was blocked by a federal court. And now let's begin with the music from Journey, intercut with the revolutionary Angela Davis, Michelle Obama at Oberlin College over the weekend.
See, that is how you will rise above the noise and shape the revolutions of your time. That is how you will have a meaningful journey on those clamorous highways of life. And graduates, that is how you will carry on the proud legacy of this great institution for generations to come. So I'm here today because I'm proud of you all. I really am. I'm inspired by your commitment to service and social justice. And I'm impressed by the community that you all have created here. A warm, supportive, inclusive community that embodies the values that define this school. Today, I want to urge you to actively seek out the most contentious, polarized, gridlock places you can find. Because so often throughout our history, those have been the places where progress really happens. The places where minds are changed, lives transformed, where our great American story unfolds.
If it walks like a revolutionary, if it talks like a revolutionary, you're living through a revolution. Welcome back to the Savage Nation. Why can't she shut her mouth? Why must this left-wing fanatic who got so lucky based upon a society that was in upheaval, that she rode the wave through deceit and through affirmative action to get where she is, and it's still not good enough for her? She and her husband will not be happy until this country is in ruins. Over the weekend, Baltimore had the worst murder spree, I think, in modern history, in its history. And that's all because of what? Do you think it came out of a vacuum? Isn't that part of the revolutionary plan? Did you see the headline about your Baltimore, what happened? Because of Obama, Holder, Al Sharpton. You notice they dummied up Al Sharpton, have you noticed that? You notice they dummied up that rat? Well, they sent him to Guyana for a few weeks on a junket. Where is that rat, Al Sharpton? He burned down two cities in the country from his fat mouth, attacking police, supporting the vermin. Where is he? Where's Al Sharpton? Nowhere to be seen. Welcome to the New World Order. Baltimore's bloodiest Memorial Day weekend after they neutered the police, that moron mayor of theirs, that attorney general and mayor, whatever their state attorney, some state attorney. 12 dead, 43 wounded in shootings across Chicago over holiday weekend. Do you understand there's a revolution going on in this country? Do you understand the thugs are now roaming the streets, free to roam, because the police have been neutered by the revolutionaries in the White House? Do you understand this? I guess not. And by the way, I know this. This is a fact. Most people are not even home yet this week. They're off this week. Dead as a doornail. They're licking ice cream somewhere. I don't know. They're licking ice cream, walking with the shorts. Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Schmuck. They're on vacation somewhere. Every other day, the children are out of school for another training session. They put the child on Adderall or Ritalin. They take the child on another vacation. The child comes out an incompetent moron who was number 75 in the world in math and science, but he's way up on his lesbian, gay, transgendered, knowledge. He's way up there on LGBT and, global warming. Him and the Pope know as much about global warming as my dog Teddy does. But we had good news today, didn't we? Because a federal court blocked Obama's amnesty for illegal aliens. If you care to join the program on this Helter-Skelter Day, the phone number is 855-400-7282. I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
My Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com. It's the only company I trust to protect my wealth. Call 800-BUY-COIN.
The great moments of our history are not decades in our past. They're happening right now, today, in our lifetimes. Just think about the folks who are winning those battles state by state, city by city, to ensure that everyone in this country can marry the person they love. Think about how just 10 years ago, gay marriage was legal and just...
I can't listen to her whiny, lecturing voice anymore. I met some people over the weekend. I don't even know if I was out this weekend. I was so sick. Maybe I dreamed it. And one guy said to me, whenever he hears her whiny, her voice, he turns the show off. They won't listen to her. They won't listen to him anymore. They hate them. They're actually hated. You know that they're a hated pair? And if it wasn't for this machine, this billion-dollar machine around them, this propaganda machine, they'll go down in history as the most divisive, hated pair in the history of the presidency. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is they got stopped today. The system seems to be working. It's a very big story. A federal appeals court. Many of you have no faith in the courts. But it happened. Obama's amnesty was punched in the nose today, an hour ago. They upheld an injunction against his deportation ruling. It's the second major legal setback for the revolutionary in the White House, for the revolutionary administration that thinks it can function as a law unto itself. The Fifth Circuit said, not so fast. The judges said that you don't have the power to do this on your own. And you can't rig the system because you don't like the system. Now, there's many different reports on this. Federal appeals court deals blow to President Obama's amnesty, says Stephen Dinon at the Washington Times. The very left-wing Associated Press has a different headline. Court won't lift hold on Obama immigration action. No one knows what that means. You see how they write a headline that you can't even understand? So if the average moron, let's say, licking an ice cream cone right now at Disneyland, is walking around, he looks into a machine, a machine, or he's at an airport and he gets beaten up with CNN News, they don't know what that means. Court won't lift hold on Obama immigration action. They say, well, I guess that's good for Obama. That's all they saw. This shows you the propaganda. But the only one who wrote the correct headline is me, Michael Savage. My headline is King Obama blocked by Fed court, and I have a picture of him on my website as a king, sitting on a royal chair. That's who he thinks he is, a king. That's all. 855-400-7282. What do you want to talk about? My flu prescription? I got to play the Robert De Niro piece. I shouldn't wait on this. So he gives a speech over the weekend at NYU, another institution of lower living that was once a decent school. NYU was always a B school. It was never an A. At one point in its history, it had become a B. It's now fallen back to some level of disrespect in the university community. So who do they pick to give a graduation speech? An actor. All right. They can't pick a scholar. They can't find an alumnus who did something distinguished in a field of science. They have to go to an actor, and he's a fine actor, by the way. I like his acting. His politics are as stupid as the character he plays in the gangster movies. His politics match that of some of the moronic Italian gangsters he plays in some of his movies, whose only answer to anything is beat a person.